Welcome to the road to 1 million US dollars. Let's get right into the Bitcoin chart for today, starting on this 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin, because over the last day or so, we saw a bit of a pullback here, even though we had seen nothing but bullish momentum over the last month or so. So is this something to really worry about, or is it just going to be a small pullback and we just resume to the upside from there? Well, in this video today, I'm going to share my analysis with you and what I'm looking out for in the charts here to actually have a better understanding of what is happening in the markets. First of all, I want to take a look at this Fibonacci retracement that I took. So I took this wick low all the way up to this wick high, which gave me these Fibonacci retracement levels. As you can see earlier today, we actually dipped below this 0.236 Fibonacci level, sitting at 96.2K for the Bitcoin price. And even though, yes, we saw some 4-hour candle closes, what I'm also keeping an eye on is actually this 1-day time frame. Because, for example, as long as we hold above this 0.236 Fibonacci level on the 1-day time frame, then everything should be fine, even in the short term. But again, if this is just a small counter trend bounce and then we roll over from here, well, as soon as we really start breaking down below this 0.236 Fibonacci level once again, then I will be starting to look at this 0.382 Fibonacci level, sitting at 94.1K for the Bitcoin price. But the most important Fibonacci level is actually this Fibonacci golden pocket, sitting between 90.6K and 90.2K. Ideally, we do not cut below that on the 1-day time frame, again with a daily candle close, because then it is starting to look a little bit more bearish. But until then, even if we do something like this, we actually fully pull back to that 90K level, and for example, we bounce from there, that still would not be a problem to me. Now, if I'm looking at this 1-day time frame, something that I would really hate to see here as a Bitcoin bull is basically to see this where we cut below this 1.618 Fibonacci level, sitting at 98.1K. This would be quite concerning to me if we see some kind of big pullback, even cut down below that 1.618. Again, with those daily and potentially even weekly candle closes, then we need to start looking for potentially even a deeper pullback for Bitcoin to come grab more liquidity there. But those are just the bearish scenarios that I'm taking a look at for now. And it is also partially because what you can see right here is that we have a confirmed bearish divergence here in the charts. So in the case that you're not familiar, a bearish divergence typically points towards a break from all of the bullish price action that we have been seeing, either in the form of some choppy sideways price action or potentially even some bearish momentum in the short term. And of course, yes, we have seen a little bit of bearish momentum here ever since confirming this. So I'm very happy with catching this quite early here and potentially spotting an actual trend reversal. But if we just zoom out a little bit here, guys, like this is a really minor pullback that we have seen so far. And besides that, if I'm looking at the Fibonacci levels that I showed at the start of this video, we can still literally just hold this on the 1-day time frame. And then as we enter into this new week, we then just shoot to the upside, for example, to fill this CME gap that we still have at 99.4K for the Bitcoin price. And yes, typically over 90% of CME gaps tend to get filled, where currently we're trading like around this level here or something. And then we get this move to the upside eventually to come fill the CME gap. That would not be surprising whatsoever. So for me personally, even though, yes, in the short term, it is looking a little bit more bearish, for me, this is way too early to be talking about a full-on reversal back to the lows. Like, for example, coming back all the way in this descending channel here. And then we have to like chop in here for another 6 months. I think it is too soon, guys. Like, personally, I'm not seeing it. I think it is too early. Even if we end up getting that bigger move to the downside, it is literally way too soon to be talking about that right now. But of course, that is not financial advice. I'm simply telling you what I'm seeing in the charts, and you can do with that information what you like. Either way, taking a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map, first of all, on this 1-week time frame, right here, you can see that we took out that 97K level that I was talking about in the last 2 videos. This was a big pocket of liquidity of about $300 million worth of Bitcoin long positions. And you can see right here that they started entering quite late into this massive run-up that we saw for Bitcoin. So as I said over the last couple of days, it wouldn't be surprising to me if we ended up taking this out because it was so close to the current price, and now we have actually taken that level out. So if I'm analyzing the current situation, we do have quite a bit of liquidity to the upside. For example, at 99 0.8K. However, in the short term, most of the liquidity is in fact to the downside, sitting at 93.9K. Let's call it 94K, where we have about $300 million worth of Bitcoin long positions. So as I always say in these videos, typically the Bitcoin price gets attracted to where there is the most liquidity on this chart. And right now it is to the downside. But of course, I'm not only looking at this Bitcoin liquidation heat map. We don't necessarily need to take out this liquidity to the downside or the upside. Basically, what I'm saying is I'm combining this liquidation heat map as confluence with my actual technical analysis that I shared earlier in this video. So for example, if we lose that 0.236 Fibonacci level, then I might start looking at this 94K level to the downside, because then coming down to grab this liquidity here becomes more likely. Now, obviously, there are no guarantees in trading, but I'm going based off what I think is the most probabilistic outcome, right? So understand that when I'm talking about the charts. Lastly, let's take a look at the Bitcoin ETF flow tables for today. Of course, right now, as I'm recording this, it is a Sunday, and therefore on Saturday, there were no new inflows because the Bitcoin ETFs only trade on weekdays. So therefore, make sure to subscribe to my channel with notifications on so you don't miss any of these important daily update videos. And of course, next week, I will continue to track these Bitcoin ETF inflows as well as soon as I'm getting the data. Because of course, over the last couple of weeks, we saw massive inflows into the Bitcoin ETFs. But if they now flip bearish, for example, then this is going to have a downwards pressuring effect on the Bitcoin price. And I want to be able to see that as soon as it is coming in, right? Either way, this has been today's market update. Don't forget to join the Road to 1 Million community on Discord. You can join it completely for free with the link in the video description. But regardless, if you do end up joining or not, thank you for watching once again. And I will see you tomorrow in the next one.